I have been waiting for you to be still enough to hear this. You are sitting there right now, maybe in a room that has grown too familiar, maybe in a car that has carried you through too many hard conversations, maybe in a quiet house where the silence has started to feel heavier than noise ever did. And somewhere beneath the surface of your day, beneath the email notifications and the laundry and the dinner plans and the bills, there is a question you have not let yourself fully form. It has been knocking. Softly. For years. You have felt it in those rare moments when everything goes quiet. When the last person leaves the room. When you turn off the television. When you lie down at night and your mind does something it only does in the dark. It starts to wonder. My child, what do you think you have missed? Not what you have lost. Not what was taken from you. Not what did not work out. I asked you something different. I asked what you think you have missed. What inheritance you have walked past without knowing it was even there. Take a breath. Let that land. You have spent so much of your life working for things. Reaching. Climbing. Fixing. You have been a good steward with what you were given. You have tithed. You have prayed. You have shown up when it cost you something. And if I am being honest with you, and I always am, there is a part of you that wonders if it has mattered. If there is anything set aside for you that you have not yet received. Tell me right now. Say it out loud. I am waiting. I am listening. Did you say it? Did you tell me what you have been carrying? Good. I heard you. I have always heard you. But there is something I need you to understand about the inheritance I have for you. It is not what you think. It is not gold. It is not a promotion. It is not a house with a white fence or a retirement account that finally feels safe. It is not even healing the way you have defined healing. It is something older. Something that was set aside before you took your first breath. Let me tell you about a man who spent his whole life looking for something he could almost taste. His name was Abraham. But before he was Abraham, before he was the father of nations, before his name meant anything to anyone, he was just a man living in Ur. A city. A comfortable life. He had a father who loved him. He had a roof over his head. He had a future that looked predictable and manageable and safe. And then I spoke. I told him to leave. Not with a map. Not with a timeline. Not with a guarantee of what he would find on the other side. I told him to pack up everything he knew and walk into a future he could not see. And here is the part that matters, my child. Abraham did not argue. He did not negotiate. He did not ask for a sign. He stood up, and he went. But that is not the whole story. The whole story is what happened in the decades that followed. Because Abraham left Ur, and he arrived in a land I promised to give him. And then he waited. And he waited. And he waited some more. Years passed. His body grew older. His wife Sarah grew older. The promise I had spoken over them started to feel like a cruel joke, something they had misheard or imagined. Do you know what it feels like to hold a promise that has not come true yet? Do you know the weight of carrying something I told you, something you know I said, something you have built your whole life around, while the evidence in front of you says otherwise? Abraham knew. He built altars. He moved his tents. He fought battles. He rescued his nephew. He made mistakes. He lied out of fear. He tried to help me fulfill my promise by taking matters into his own hands, and he ended up with Ishmael, a son he loved, but not the son I had spoken. And through all of it, through the dust and the disappointment and the long silent years, Abraham kept coming back to one question. Do you still mean what you said? I did. I meant every word. And when Abraham was 100 years old, when his body was as good as dead, when every natural explanation had long since run out, I did what I had said I would do. Isaac was born. The inheritance arrived. But it did not arrive the way Abraham expected. It arrived in a body. A tiny, crying, helpless body. A baby. My child, I am telling you this because you are living in the waiting right now. You are in the years between the promise and the fulfillment. You are in the dust. You are in the silence. And you have started to wonder if the inheritance exists at all. But it does. It is not lost. It is not delayed because I forgot about you. It is not smaller than you hoped. It is being prepared. It is being guarded. It is waiting for the exact moment when it will accomplish what I designed it to accomplish, and that moment has not arrived yet. You have looked for it in the wrong places. I know you have. And I am not saying that to shame you. I am saying it because I want you to stop exhausting yourself on paths that lead nowhere. You have searched for this inheritance in the approval of people who could not give it to you. You have looked for it in achievements that left you empty the morning after. You have tried to earn it through performance, through perfection, through proving yourself to people who were never going to be satisfied. You have even looked for it in the church. You have sat through sermons and conferences and small groups, waiting for someone to hand you the key, waiting for a formula, waiting for the right prayer, the right fast, the right amount of faith that would finally unlock what I have for you. And every time you walked away, you felt the same quiet ache. Because the inheritance cannot be earned, my child. It can only be received. And receiving requires something you have not been willing to do. It requires you to stop. Stop striving. Stop convincing. Stop trying to make yourself worthy of something that was never based on your worthiness in the first place. The inheritance I have for you was not purchased by your behavior. It was purchased by my blood. It was sealed by my Spirit. It was written in a book that was closed before you committed your first sin. Do you believe that? I am asking you honestly. Do you believe that there is something good waiting for you that you have not yet touched? Something that has nothing to do with how well you performed this week? Something that is not contingent on you getting your act together first? Let that question sit in the room with you for a moment. I want to show you something that happened to a woman who was exactly where you are right now. Her name was Ruth. You know the story. She lost her husband. She lost her country. She followed her mother-in-law Naomi into a land where she had no rights, no protection, no future that anyone could see. She survived by gleaning, by walking behind the harvesters and picking up the scraps they left behind. Day after day, she bent over in the hot sun, gathering what fell from other people's hands. She had no inheritance. She was not entitled to anything. She was a foreigner, a widow, a woman alone in a world that had no room for her. But here is what she did not know. There was a man named Boaz who owned that field. And Boaz had been watching her. Not because she was beautiful, though she was. Not because she was skilled, though she was. He was watching her because I had already written her into a story she could not see. I had already set aside an inheritance for her. And the moment she stopped trying to figure out how to save herself, the moment she stopped believing she had to earn her way out of poverty, the moment she simply lay down at the feet of her Redeemer and trusted him to cover her, everything changed. Boaz married her. He gave her a name. He gave her a future. He gave her a place in the lineage of the Messiah. My child, that is what I have been waiting for you to do. You have been standing in the field, gathering scraps, working yourself to exhaustion, believing that the inheritance will come if you just pick up enough leftovers. But I am the owner of the field. I have been watching you. I have seen every morning you got up when you did not want to. I have seen every prayer you prayed through tears. I have seen every time you chose obedience when disobedience would have been easier. And I am telling you, lay down. Stop gathering. Stop proving. Stop trying to earn what has already been set aside for you. Come and rest at my feet. Let me cover you. Let me be your kinsman redeemer. The inheritance is not at the end of your effort. It is at the beginning of your surrender. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking that this sounds too easy. That there must be a catch. That if you stop striving, everything will fall apart. That someone has to hold it all together, and if it is not you, then who will do it? I understand that fear. I made you with a capacity for responsibility. I made you with a desire to steward what you have been given. But that desire has twisted into something I never intended. You have taken a role that was never yours to fill. You have become the savior of your own life, and it is crushing you. Let me ask you something. How is that working? Not the theory. Not what you tell yourself on Sunday morning. The actual experience of your life right now. How is it working to carry everything on your own shoulders? How is it working to be the one who fixes every problem, manages every relationship, and holds every disappointment? How is it working to wake up every morning with the weight of a world that is not yours to carry? You are tired. I know you are tired. I have felt every pound of that weight with you. I have been walking beside you while you dragged it. And I have been waiting for you to look at me and say, I cannot do this anymore. You do not have to. The inheritance is not a reward for your endurance. It is a gift that was purchased while you were still weak. While you were still running. While you were still trying to fix yourself. I died for you while you were my enemy. Do you think I waited until you got your life together to start loving you? Do you think the inheritance is conditional on you finally becoming the person you think you should be? It is not. It was already yours before you took your first step away from me. And it has been yours through every step you took back. It has been yours through the years you spent chasing things that could not satisfy. It has been yours through the nights you lay awake wondering if I was even real. It has been yours through the prayers you thought went unanswered, through the doors that closed, through the losses that broke your heart. The inheritance never left. You just stopped believing it was there. I want to take you to a moment that changed everything for one of my disciples. His name was Peter. You know Peter. He was loud. He was impulsive. He said things he did not mean and meant things he could not say. He walked on water until he looked at the wind. He cut off a man's ear in a garden when he was trying to defend me. And when the night came that I needed him most, when they arrested me and led me away, Peter followed at a distance. And then he denied me. 3 times. 3 separate times, he looked at people who recognized him and said, "I do not know that man." The last time, he cursed. He swore. He made sure they believed him. And then the rooster crowed. And I looked at him. Not with anger. Not with disappointment. Not with the cold silence of a teacher whose student has failed. I looked at him with a grief that he could not bear to see. And he ran. He ran out into the night and he wept the kind of tears that come from a place so deep you think you will never stop. Peter thought he had lost everything. He thought his inheritance was gone. He thought I had looked at him and seen the final proof of his unworthiness. He thought the story was over. But the story was not over. 3 days later, I rose. And a week after that, I found Peter exactly where he had gone back to. Fishing. Back to the old life. Back to the boat. Back to the net. Back to the identity he had worn before I ever called him. He had given up on the inheritance. He had decided it was not for him. And I came to him on the shore. I did not list his failures. I did not make him recount every denial. I did not hold a grudge. I asked him one question 3 times. Peter, do you love me? Not, Peter, are you sorry? Not, Peter, do you promise to do better? Not, Peter, have you learned your lesson? I asked him if he loved me. And when he said yes, when he finally said yes through his tears, I gave him back everything he thought he had lost. I gave him the inheritance. Feed my sheep, I told him. Lead my people. Build my church. The same calling. The same purpose. The same destiny that was his before he ever failed. Nothing had changed except his understanding of where it came from. It was not based on his performance. It was based on my love. My child, that is what I am doing for you right now. You have denied me. Not with your words, maybe, but with your choices. You have denied me by living as if I am not enough. You have denied me by trusting your own plans more than my promises. You have denied me by looking at the inheritance I gave you and saying, "This cannot be for me." I have messed up too many times. I have wandered too far. I have used up my chances. But I am standing on the shore of your life right now, and I am asking you the same question. Do you love me? Not, do you have it all figured out? Not, do you have clean hands and a pure record? Not, have you earned the right to receive what I have for you? Do you love me? If the answer is yes, then the inheritance is still yours. It has always been yours. It was yours before you knew my name. It was yours when you were walking away. It was yours when you were sitting in that church pew feeling like a fraud. It was yours when you fell and when you got back up. It has never stopped being yours. But there is one detail that changes everything. Are you ready for it? Here it is. The inheritance is not for you alone. I know that sounds like the wrong thing to say. You have been so focused on what you need, what you are lacking, what you have been waiting for, that the idea of sharing it feels almost unfair. But listen to me closely. The inheritance I have for you was never designed to stop with you. It was designed to flow through you. Abraham was blessed so that he would be a blessing to all the nations. Ruth received redemption so that she would carry the lineage of the king. Peter was restored so that he would feed the sheep. The inheritance was never the finish line. It was the starting point for something much bigger. You have been asking me for provision so you can feel safe. I want to give you provision so you can be generous. You have been asking me for healing so you can escape your pain. I want to give you healing so you can walk into other people's pain with authority. You have been asking me for breakthrough so you can finally rest. I want to give you breakthrough so you can open doors for others. Do you see? The inheritance is not a storage unit. It is a river. And you have been standing at the edge of that river, thirsty, when I told you to step into it and start drinking. But I also told you to start leading others to the same water. There is someone in your life who is waiting for what I am about to give you. A child. A spouse. A friend. A coworker. A stranger you have not met yet. They are waiting for the inheritance to arrive in your hands so that it can reach theirs. And if you refuse to receive it, if you stay in the place of striving and scarcity and fear, you are not just withholding from yourself. You are withholding from them. That is the detail that changes everything. You are not the end of the line. You are a conduit. You are a channel. You are a waypoint in a story that is much larger than your one lifetime. And I need you to believe that enough to open your hands. I need you to stop clutching your past, your failures, your disappointments, your tightly held plans. I need you to open your hands and let me place the inheritance in them. Not because you have earned it. Because I have chosen to entrust it to you. And I do not entrust things recklessly. I entrust them to people I know will pass them on. Will you be that person? I am asking you directly. Will you receive what I have for you, not as a reward for your goodness, but as a gift of my love? And will you promise me, right now, that you will not keep it for yourself? That when I pour into you, you will pour into others? That when I bless you, you will be a blessing? That when I restore you, you will walk into the broken places of the world and speak my name? If you say yes, then everything is about to shift. Not because your circumstances will change overnight. They may not. But because you will change. The way you see your waiting will change. The way you see your pain will change. The way you see the closed doors and the silent prayers and the years that felt wasted will change. Because you will finally understand that it was never about what you were waiting for. It was about who you were becoming in the waiting. And you were becoming someone who could carry an inheritance for others. Let me pray over you now. I mean that. Let me pray over you, like a father blessing his child before a long journey. Close your eyes if you want to. Take a breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension in your jaw release. I am with you, and I am not in a hurry. Father, I bring this child of yours before you now. The one who has been carrying weight that was never meant for their shoulders. The one who has been striving for an inheritance that was already given. The one who has been standing in the field, gathering scraps, when the owner of the field is calling them to the table. I speak wisdom over them now. Not the wisdom of this world, which passes away, but the wisdom that comes from above. The kind of wisdom that knows when to fight and when to rest. The kind of wisdom that sees the door you are opening when everyone else sees a wall. I speak protection over them. Not just protection from physical harm, though that too, but protection from the lies of the enemy. Protection from the voice that tells them they have missed their chance. Protection from the voice that tells them they are not worthy. Protection from the voice that tells them you have forgotten them. I speak courage over them. The courage to stop performing. The courage to lay down their striving. The courage to receive what they have not earned. The courage to open their hands and let go of the things they have been clutching so tightly. I speak healing over them. Healing for the wounds they have carried for so long they have forgotten they are there. Healing for the places where disappointment calcified into despair. Healing for the relationships that fractured and the dreams that died and the prayers that seemed to hit the ceiling and fall back down. I speak faith over them. Not the kind of faith that pretends everything is fine. The kind of faith that looks at the empty tomb and knows that nothing is impossible. The kind of faith that stands in the middle of the waiting and says, I trust you even when I cannot see you. I speak restoration over them. Restoration of the years the locusts ate. Restoration of the hope that was stolen. Restoration of the joy that was buried under grief. I am not just repairing what was broken. I am making it more beautiful than it was before. I speak provision over them. Not just enough to survive. Enough to be generous. Enough to be a blessing. Enough to open doors for others. I am not a God of scarcity. I am a God of abundance, and I am about to prove it in ways that will leave you speechless. I speak breakthrough over them. Breakthrough in the area that has felt like a wall for years. Breakthrough in the relationship that has been stuck. Breakthrough in the finances that have not made sense. Breakthrough in the health that has been declining. Breakthrough in the calling that has felt out of reach. I speak peace over them. The peace that does not depend on their circumstances. The peace that passes understanding. The peace that keeps their heart and mind steady when everything around them is shaking. I speak family blessing over them. For their children, their parents, their siblings, their spouse. Let the inheritance flow through their household. Let every person under their roof be touched by the same grace that is touching them right now. I speak spiritual strength over them. The strength to endure what is coming. The strength to stand firm when the warfare intensifies. The strength to keep believing when the evidence says otherwise. And I speak purpose over them. Clear, undeniable, unshakable purpose. The kind of purpose that gets them out of bed in the morning. The kind of purpose that makes every struggle worth it. The kind of purpose that outlasts their own life. My child, open your eyes now. You have been blessed. Not will be. Not might be. You have been blessed with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places. The inheritance is not coming. It is here. It is in your hands. And what you do with it from this moment forward is the most important decision you will ever make. Do not keep it for yourself. There is someone in your life who needs to hear what you have heard tonight. Someone who is still standing in the field, gathering scraps, not knowing that the owner of the field is calling them to the table. Someone who has given up on the inheritance because they think they have disqualified themselves. Give them these words. Let them hear what you have heard. Let them know that the inheritance is still there. That the door is still open. That the Father is still waiting on the shore, asking the same question. Tell them what I have told you. Tell them that the inheritance is not lost. That one detail changes everything. That it was never about what they could earn. It was always about what I have already given. And then walk with them into the river. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And you never will be. The inheritance is yours. Go and share it.